We had our little technical situation that we worked out. We're just going to keep on this health frequency, though, because we're talking about holiday heart. And it is a condition, unfortunately, that happens around the holiday season with all of that celebrating, definitely taking a toll on your heart, right? So festival food and drink, it happens from now until the end of the year, I'm sure. Dr. James Roberts, a cardiologist with Novant Health, joining us now. Doctor, thanks for joining us here on Live Impact News. Explain what holiday heart is and that we hear about this around the holidays more and more.
Well, let's brag. Holiday heart is a syndrome in which patients who are partaking in the usual holiday festivities may suddenly develop a rapid heart rate or tachycardia. And very frequently, they'll notice the symptoms of palpitations and a rapid heart rate. And it's pretty easy to diagnose at that time, but oftentimes patients don't have those symptoms. Sometimes they just feel a little fatigued, a little dizzy, a little bit under the weather, not quite sure why they're so out of sorts. And when they finally do have themselves checked out and get an electrocardiogram, we find that their heart is out of rhythm. They have an abnormal heart rhythm called atrial fibrillation. And that's a direct result of maybe imbibing just a little bit too much during the holidays, or perhaps partaking some of the other things like a little bit too much salt in the salty dishes that we may have, and maybe a little bit too much caffeine.
Yeah, so the main triggers then to irregular heart rhythms during this time of the year it's the sodium. You mentioned the alcohol. How much is too much?
Well, so in general, we think that alcohol is reasonably safe if you have a drink, be that one glass of wine or one beer or one mixed drink, no more than per day. Now, what happens around the holidays is we drink a little bit more than that sometimes, and maybe we'll have more than two or three, which might still be a little safe, but it's really the binge drinking that gets people into trouble. And so probably anything more than two drinks is a setup for developing holiday heart syndrome.
Salt intake tends to go up around the holidays as well. I know my gravy last night was a little too salty. Um, what should people watch out for with the holiday meals?
So the holiday meals, although very delicious, are fraught with complications for many of our patients, right? Because the salt load does increase the blood pressure, and oftentimes our patients who already have heart diseases such as congestive heart failure may not be able to handle that salt load because the salt makes them hold on to extra water, and then they become volume overloaded. In fact, probably the most common day for hospitalization for congestive heart failure is the day after Thanksgiving. We sort of jokingly say we expect a busy day in the emergency room on Black Friday. So we don't want people taking more than 2 grams of sodium a day, and certainly on a day like that, you may get 2 grams in part of the meal.
So what are the warning signs people should be aware of then when they are to know that they're experiencing holiday heart?
Yeah. So the first and most obvious warning sign is just palpitations, feeling a rapid heartbeat or a heartbeat that's skipping, or sometimes just an irregular heart rhythm that seems to not be beating in a regular fashion. So that's the easy way to tell, and the most common reason you might see a patient. Otherwise, they may just, as I said, feel just a little bit out of sorts, a little dizzy, a little weak, maybe sometimes a little short of breath, and certainly if they're developing swelling in the feet or ankles, that might be another sign.
Let's talk about heartburn, another common holiday complaint. What's the connection between heartburn and holiday heart?
Yeah. Well, the connection is such that sometimes it's difficult to tell the difference, right? Most of the time, heartburn is being caused by too much gas being released in the stomach, or too much acid, and you get a burning sensation in the chest. And holiday heart, many of our patients will, while having these palpitations, if the heartbeat's going too fast, they may develop chest pain. And oftentimes they may chew that chest pain as, oh, just another episode of heartburn. when in fact they may be having angina because the heart rate is too fast.
How about some practical tips then when it comes to enjoying the holidays and not triggering things like heartburn or irregular heart palpitations?
Sure. Probably the best advice is to use a little common sense about what we eat and how much we eat. So we all want to enjoy um, the turkey and the ham and the mashed potatoes and so on and so forth. But since we know that a lot of that food is probably already cooked with salt, we probably shouldn't be adding salt at the table if we know the food was cooked with salt. So that's the first thing. The second thing is being careful about portion sizes. Although everybody wants a nice big plate of a healthy meal, I think it's very important to control the portion sizes and make sure that we're not overeating. Thirdly, we want to be very careful about the alcohol intake as well as the caffeine intake, since those are things that trigger directly the rapid heart rates and the irregular heart rates.
A good Yeah, go ahead, doctor.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I generally, as a preventive cardiologist, I generally tell my patients three simple rules of eating. Number one, you probably need to eat more plants. Number two, eat less processed foods. And number three, eat less. And those rules probably hold true for holiday times as well.
What fun is that, though, right? um, it's a good reminder about the importance of hydration, too, isn't it, doctor?
Yes. So certainly hydration is very important, particularly when you're taking on an increased salt load. Alcohol, although a liquid, tends to dehydrate you because it acts as a diuretic. So you do need to take on more water, and certainly being well hydrated during the holiday season is a very wise thing.
Is there anything people with already existing heart conditions should be aware of when it comes to all of the festive gatherings and holiday eating?
Absolutely. So I think that the biggest thing that people who already have heart disease need to be aware of is the fact that the foods that we eat around the holiday time are going to be very rich in salt or sodium and be very rich in sugar. And those are two things that are not going to go bode well for people who have hypertension and diabetes. And those conditions certainly can worsen or accelerate the onset of angina and chest pain and arrhythmias and all the things we're talking about.
It drives me crazy when I see people at the restaurant. They haven't even touched their food and they're already putting salt on it out of habit.
Absolutely.
Taste it first. All right. Anything else for our viewers to know to balance enjoyment with heart health?
Sure. Well, the wonderful thing that my wife and I did yesterday before we partook in our holiday meal, we went out for a nice walk. And so getting in the exercise and burning off some of the calories both before and after you eat is always a good thing.
I love it. I hit the gym too yesterday morning. So got to move it before you eat it.
Absolutely.
Dr. James Roberts, thank you so much for giving us some of your insight and advice on keeping a healthy heart, not only during the holidays, but really year round. We want to see you around for as long as you can. Mm-hmm.